Hello, this is our string class pitch video, and today we are looking at the first of our flat keys, so F major. We're going to go through the usual process onto the stave, work out how to do it on the piano, and then we'll do some improvising based on our tonic triad. Okay, so first, clef drawing. We do this every time, but it's really good to practice. Treble clef, known as the G clef. G starts on the second line up, and we go up, round, and draw a big circle that's sort of like a seashell that covers the line above, the line below, up to the top, down, and a little squiggle. And to my brain, that looks like a G, and it acts as an arrow to that second line up, telling us that that is a G. So if you ever get confused when you're using musical notation, that's what you can do. The bass line, these 5 lines are the bass clef. I've drawn our imaginary C line in the middle that goes between the bass clef and the treble clef. The bass clef, we start on the second line down, and we draw the right side of a heart, and we do 2 little dots either side to make sure that we know bass clef, its other name is the F clef, and that's like a big arrow for our F. This extra stave here that I've put, which is exactly in the middle of the treble clef and the bass clef, so we continue this imaginary ledger line for the middle C, and that becomes the middle line of this clef. And this is the alto clef that the violas use. They borrow the bottom, or they have the same. The bottom 2 lines for the treble clef becomes the top 2 lines of this. The top 2 lines of the bass clef become the bottom 2 lines here. So the clef for this actually has like a little arrow in it, and that is the C clef, so that middle line is a C. Okay, so we know where our F is in the bass clef, we know where our C is in the alto clef, and we know where our G is in the treble clef. We also know that the musical alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A, B, C. And often if I'm doing theory, I like to have that written out just so that I can quickly go forwards and backwards if you find it hard to do it in your head. I also sometimes like drawing out a little piano just at the bottom of a notepad with lines and heavier lines for the black notes, just to help orientate myself if I can't visualise it in my head. So we've got all of our tools there. So we are going to work out F major. So we know our pattern of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, or we know our pattern of do, re, mi and fa are close, sol, la, ti and do are close. So I'm going to do it in terms of degrees of the scale. 1, 2, 3 and 4 are close, so we have tone, tone, and a little semitone. I use a hat for my semitone. 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this is a process that we're starting to become familiar with. Draw out your lines with your numbers, or your do, re, mi, whatever you prefer. Then, if we're doing F major, what I like to do is put my letters in next. I don't worry about putting it onto the piano first. Put F and F. I know it starts with F and I know it ends with F. Now, a major scale has to have every letter of the alphabet in it, okay? So we don't worry about sharps and flats at the moment, we just start at F. So F, oops, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so I've gone through the alphabet in order. Right, now let's put it onto our piano. So 1 is on F, 2 is going to be on G because we have a tone, 3 is going to be on A because we've had to skip 1. Now 4 is going to be close, and this is a black note. Now this black note has 2 names. It can be A sharp because it's the one up just above A, or it's a B flat. And sometimes it's quite confusing to know which one to use. But actually, if you use this method, where have we got to? We've done F, we've done G, we've got A. Now this one is the tricky one over number 4, and we've got a B there already. So that makes the decision for us. We know that it's a B flat, and that So that name of this note here in this scale is going to be B flat. Okay, carrying on. So from 4 to 5 we skip one, so we've got C, 5 to 6 is D, D to E, 7, and then 7 and 8 are close, but they're already close on the white notes of the piano. So in this scale we only have one note that is a black note on the piano, and we know how to label it because we already did the alphabet in the first place, so that helps us with what we're going to call it. So this is why this is a flat key. So we now to draw our key signatures. To do a flat, I tend to go down, up, and then make it into a spiky B. That B has to go right through the middle of a line, or if it's between two, you go down to that line and then the B fills in that gap there. Okay, so let's put that onto here. We know that this second line up is G, so let's count up G, A, B. So this middle, in the middle of the treble clef stave is a B, bang in the middle. So I go down and I go sort of halfway down into the space below. So straight line down, halfway down to the space below, and draw my little flat. For the F clef, I could, so this is F, I could go up, G, A, B, but then it would be floating above, and we try not to have accidentals sort of floating as much as we can when we're writing sharps and flats. So we have F, E, D, C, B. So we've got this line here. So again we go halfway down into the space below, halfway up into the space above, and encapsulate it with that. This middle line is C, so the space below is going to be B. So we go down to the line and then draw that in the middle there. Okay, so that is our key signature for F major. So we want our tonic triad. I'm going to, I've got some different colours. So we're going to draw probably the easiest ones to play. Now, some of you won't have learnt how to do naturals on our instruments. So flat keys can be quite tricky and more advanced for string players. We tend to sort of learn the sharp keys first. So F major is one of your grade 2 scales. It requires violins. You need to learn how to sort of have shifted your second finger position next to your first finger. I call that a low 2. Cellists, you're using your second finger rather than your third finger. That's sort of not quite so tricky. So violins, probably the easiest one for us is going to be F, which is low 2 on the D string, A, open A, and C, which is low 2 on the A string. Violas, you can do exactly the same one. So that's your F line, A goes above here, and then we need to ledger line. So it's borrowed from here. That's the ledger line there, and that's going to be your C. So F, A, and C. And cellos, your one is going to be, again, nice and easy for you. Find your F. It's the F clef, so F, A, and then C. We're going to need to draw in this ledger line here. F, A, C, F, A, and C. And again, you're starting with a second finger on your D string, open A, and second finger on your A string. So I'm just going to play that on my violin. So violins and violas, find your D string. If you want to tune the F natural, it might be worth finding an E and then snuggle the second finger in. So it's low 2 for our F. So it goes F, open A, and then C, which is a low 2 on the A string. Cellos, again, find your D string, put your first finger down, and then put your second finger down to get the F, and then open string, and then 2 fingers on the A string. Okay, so those are our simplest triads. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a run through using this rhythm patterns that we had in our semi-quaver rhythm section. Now, if you struggled with these rhythms, because they are quite complicated, you can just keep a TT beat all the way through, a tar beat all the way through, a ticka ticka, a semi-quaver, 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 semi-quaver all the way through, using notes from this triad. Or you can have a go at the rhythms that you'll find it easier and then simplify it. So you might want to go ta, ticka ticka ta, ticka ticka ta, ti ti ta, ti ti. If you're feeling that you haven't quite got the hang of the dotted rhythms, don't let that put you off. Okay, so we're using these notes and this rhythmic pattern, and I'm just going to grab a chair so that I don't get right in the way. Let's see if that helps. Oh, not perfect, but yeah, better. Okay, so 16 bar rhythm pattern using our very simplest F major tonic triad, and yeah, I will see you at the end. So I'm going to give you 2 bars in. I'll count to 4, and then we'll do a ticka 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 ticka, off you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, ticka 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 ticka, off we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I will show you some other options that you can play on your instruments. So if you're happy just with those simple versions, that's absolutely fine. And I'll show you some extra ones we can do. So we might need to have a little bit of board here. So violins, you have an option of going up an octave. And so we start on our F up here, which would be low 1 on the E string, but actually to play the whole of this, the whole of these pitches, you would need to go up into 3rd position or 2nd position. So if you haven't learnt positions yet, you can play the F as a low 1 on your E string, or the A as 3 fingers on your E string, and then you leave this top one out. But this top C, you can only really reach if you've learned 2nd position or 3rd position. Okay, so there are different ways of, whoops, it's not very well drawn, different ways of doing this. So you could just stay on the E string, 3rd finger for the A, low 1. Make sure you tune your A. Okay, but if you want to noodle around in 3rd position and you have learnt how to do 3rd position, find your 1st finger on the E string. I like to when I'm going up into 3rd position, I like to find the harmonic with that 1st finger and then melt into the string and then check with your open A. So you find the position really lightly, find your harmonic, melt into the string. Okay, and then from there you can find the F, which is 3 fingers on the okay. So that's how that works in third position. Violas and cellos, you have lower options. So violas, you can play things in the same range as the cellos have just been playing. So it would be third finger on the C string, first finger on the A string, and third finger on the C string, first finger on the G string, third finger on the G string. So 1, 3, 1, F, A, and C. And cellos, you have the option of going down an octave. Let's do yours in purple. So we're now going down to the F down here, F, A, and C. So again, that would be fourth finger on the C string, first finger on the G string, and fourth finger on the G string. So 4, 1, 4. Violas, you would be 3, 1, 3 on your low strings. Violins, you can have a go at playing these two notes if you're still in first position only. If you've had a go at learning third position, find that A, tune it with your open A string, and then tune the other two notes in line with that. So these are extensions. We can we're going to play it through one more time, using now these 3 new notes, or 2 new notes if you're just doing that. And if you haven't learned low ones yet, and you want to stick with these original ones we've done, that's absolutely fine. Or you just want to stick with the A string, that's fine. But, you know, get playing. Maybe try something more complicated with the rhythms this time if you're sticking with the same pitches as you had before. So we're going to go run through one more time. We're going to use for this one, and then the last run through we're going to use all the notes, all six notes, if that's what you feel up to doing. So first, violins. Really settle into your third position. Make sure you take your thumb with you, and that it's in, and you've got a nice relaxed hand position. This is our starting note. So for F, so cellos, if you want to tune your fourth finger on your C string. Okay, so everybody find your hand positions, and I will see you at the end. So I'm going to count in 1, 2, 3, 4, ticka, 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 and then off we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, ticka, 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 off we go. Okay, so we have all of these options. Violins, you can do cellos, you can start on your C string, 4, 1, 4, and then 2, open A, 2, and violas, bottom string 3, and then 1, 3 on the G string, and then you've got low 2 on the D string, open A, and low 2 on the A string. So all of us have got 6 notes as our options. We're all at different stages, so you know what's suitable for you. If you have learnt second position, you could try it in second position if you want to stretch yourself a little bit. Or if you've learnt shifting, you can go between the positions if you want to. or if you want to just stay in first position, just miss out that top C. That's all for the violins. Okay, are we ready? So last time through, pick the option that's best for you, and off we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, off we go. I wonder if I did an extra one. It's quite tricky, this, isn't it? Well done if you kept going. We might not have ended exactly at the same time, but that's definitely my fault rather than yours. So F major, a little bit trickier for us string players, but quite a cool key. Something that you feel more comfortable in the more you do it. And yep. Keep enjoying your theory and being curious when you're playing in different keys with your instrument, and look at all this stuff when you're playing different pieces and just think, oh yeah, that's how that works, rather than just ignoring that and being told it by your teacher. Okay, so have fun.